choice to wear a leather canvas or a moccasin. We know moccasin, bro. Not leather moccasin, suede moccasin. You know moccasins are different. There's leather moccasin and there is suede moccasin. The suede moccasin is fabric. Those days when we used to, I used to wear suede moccasin. If you have to choose between the rubber sandal and suede moccasin, which one will you choose? Huh? Suede moccasin. That is about this dunya. How about between this dunya itself and our why would we like to prefer this dunya to our and for many of us, our attitudes, our preferences for this dunya. It is true that we'll be in this dunya first before akhirah. But akhirah is better. Akhirah is everlasting. Dunya is short. And the enjoyment of dunya is short. Wallahi, the enjoyment of dunya is short. And it is limited. We have limited enjoyment. If you like eggs, fried plantain with tea for your breakfast, for how long can you eat that? If you eat it up to the 50, they'll start telling you to stop it. Fried eggs, fried plantain with hot cup of tea. Let that tea be cappuccino tea. That's a nice meal for a breakfast. Or noodles and chicken with a cup of tea. Or noodles with fried eggs with a cup of tea. For me, breakfast was always come with a cup of tea. For how long can we do that? For how long? How long? That's why the millions of the meal of Al-Jannah is not known. The kinds, the variety of the meal of Al-Jannah is known only to Allah alone. So the enjoyment of this dunya, they are few, they are limited, and they are problematic. Few, limited, and problematic. If you like your wife, she's beautiful, she's this, she's that. For how long can she remain as she was when you married her? For how long? After 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 children. So for the sake of Allah, let's give preference to akhirah. Give preference to akhirah. The enjoyment of this dunya is fun. Someone that I know built a big house. Just 2 years ago, he started it. It's not up to a year that he started living inside the house. When I was traveling on this journey, I saw that, there are some lights on the house already now. They now potted it. They potted it. Painted it pure white. Ready to place another paint on it. So I started saying this dunya is a funny place. They just finished this house. They've not lived in it for up to 1 year. Okay. This one that they are potting in now and painting, do you know after 5 years, it will be apparent that they potting it. 5 years maximum. The potting will be apparent again. It will require another potting and painting. But that's how the dunya is. I visited the OAU in Obafemi University, geological museum. The other museum, geological museum. The car that the Oba of Ife, Oni of Ife, Aderemi Road. What's his name? Aderemi. He has a first name. Aderemi. The car that he rode. When he bought that car, it was celebration because its kind was not in southwestern Nigeria. That car is in that museum now. It's in that museum. His children cannot ride that car. The car that the day they bought it was celebration. Its kind was not in the entirety of Southwest. It became something that's not better than for a museum. If somebody drives Volkswagen now and wants to celebrate having bought a car, you heard that you got an invitation on WhatsApp. Attend my walima. I want to thank Allah that I got a new car. And you come and you see Volkswagen there. What will you say to me? say that instead of doing the walima, why not contribute that money to join it and buy a car? That is how the life of this dunya is. That's why Allah says, "Bal tu'thiruna al-hayata ad-dunya wal-akhiratu khayrun." Wallahi, it is true, oh brothers. The third point I like us to mention, although we mentioned it while discussing the first one, that is contemplating the Quran. Let's pay attention to the Quran now. One of the scholars, Sheikh Saleh Al-Husayni, he gave a talk recently. I think he was responding to some questions. He said many of the scholars of Islam, before they die, if they ask them, what do you miss? Do you have anything? If you have opportunity to come back, or if you have opportunity to spend a longer time, what will you spend it with? They always regret that they spent a lesser time with Quran. No matter how long the time you spend with the Quran, when you die, shortly before you die, you'll be feeling that I wish I spent more time. I wish I spent more time with the Quran. So let us pay attention to the Quran. Let us read the Quran. You know, we Muslims, it's so funny. A Christian will be quoting a verse to us in the Bible, and you'll be telling us, oh, I'm the Quran in a bed. You have that experience? A Christian will be quoting a verse of the Bible, and will be telling you that it's in the Quran. And the Muslim will not be able to say, no, it's not in the Quran, because he does not know the Quran. If a woman sells tomato, she knows the Bible. Even if she can't read it, she'll be telling you, John chapter this, Matthew chapter this. For Muslims, he does not study it. So let us pay attention to the Quran. It will improve upon our devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The fourth thing is also connected to this. We have little khushu in Salah. I mentioned it that devotion to Allah comes from Salat. Devotion to Allah. Look at the entirety of the actions of Salah. It's an action that will indeed devotion. You stand before Allah. Stand for Allah before Him. Quality, being silent and attentive. Say Allahu Akbar, you raise up your hand, you fold it again, and you start praying again. So Salat itself is very important means of gaining devotion to Allah. Let us pay attention to our Salat. That's the fourth. The fifth one is run away from sins. Sins destroy your heart. Sins. In the hadith of Abdur-Rauf, Imam Nasai reported, when the Messenger ﷺ explained, Kalla ba'ron ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun. When the individual commits a sin, a black dot is placed on his heart. When he makes tawbah, it is purified. When he makes the sin, he commits another one, he commits another one. He goes on like that until the entirety of the heart becomes dark. So his heart becomes dead. Sins deaden the heart. Sins deaden the heart. The worse the sin, the more destruction it brings to the mind, to the heart. Sins. So they will be doing things that when people do it, they will weep. When you hear, you will not stress. Sins, iniquities, tells lies. In our own times, one of the worst and most common sins is looking at haram. In our own times, one of the worst and common, because looking at haram deadens the heart, the mind a lot. Wallahi, looking at haram. Looking at haram. Male and female, looking at haram. It deadens the eyes. Videos of different kinds of phones. Some of the women think that when you say women should stay at home, it's a call to watch videos, Netflix. Go. The brother came to me. That's how I knew Netflix. Wallahi, I never knew it before. He wants to divorce his wife. I said, why? He said he caught her watching Netflix one day. I said, what is Netflix? He looked at me like this. He said, what? I told you. I said, wallahi, I didn't know Netflix. Maybe it's because I'm living in the village. I said, I don't know Netflix. He said, it's a film station. Any film is inside. He said she has the software on her phone. So she was watching, he told her to remove it. She's refusing. So he dragged her to him. He wants to do it. Netflix. These are the things people pay attention to. You can't watch anything. Makers of film say that there are 3 or 4 things that must be in films. The first thing that must be in films for it to be a balanced film is violence. No film without violence. 2, what they call romance. It's a romance movie. So when you watch that romance, how is it like? Is it lawful for you to watch? Is it lawful for a woman to watch a male and a female hold themselves? Is it lawful for a male to watch a male and a female hold themselves? The Messenger ﷺ referred to a man who brought this kind of an affair to the public as a shaitan. So those people who publish that kind of a film, what are they? Shayateen will hit. You that you are watching it, you are what? The helper of shaitan and a destroyer of himself. So sins are much. The second common sin is riba. Riba does not necessarily refer to interest, usually alone. Ulama generally refer to things of business transactions involving unlawful things as riba. Let us be careful. May Allah protect each and every one of us. Another issue we need to pay attention to as far as gaining devotion to Allah is concerned. We should read about the early Muslims and how they were devoted to Allah. Why is it that when we talk about the companions, our iman rise? Have we noticed that? It will be like you should just be Abu Bakr now, Siddiq of your mother. When you talk about Bilal, your mind will be like, I hope I'm Bilal. Now, it's not. The same way when we were younger than this. When you watch football, Mexico 86, every little young boy that's playing football on the street will be shouting Maradona. At that time it was Diego, he said Diego, Armando, Maradona. You want to read Maradona. Why? Because everybody is talking about Maradona. You are hearing things about Maradona. So if you hear Abu Bakr and Siddiq, you want to be like Siddiq. So if you tell your children stories, tell them stories about these people. Tell them about Abu Bakr. Tell them about Omar, Osman, Ali, Aisha, Asma, Khadija. Tell them. Read about them and tell them. That's why there shouldn't be any one of us who shouldn't have a library in the home. Do we have anyone who doesn't have a library at home? That's bad. Very bad. Don't you know that clothes will wear out? Cars will wear out. The only thing that will not wear out is knowledge you can pass to your children. I heard something yesterday and it pained me a lot. One of our very, 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 very dear brothers, all of us, we know him. Because if you grow old, you build a house, when you die, your children will sell the house. So why not invest in education? Go out there. A brother is selling books. You see the stories of companions. Buy it. Abu Bakr, Ali, Umar, Usman, Ali. Some young girls here, or boys, they will tell you that they can read a novel of 1,000 pages. Ali, within a week, they'll finish it. In fact, they'll be competing. I can finish this novel. Why not buy Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, biography of the prophets? Buy it and give it to them. Let them read and know about these people. They would like to be like them. when people see musicians, they want to be like them. Don't you see the hairstyles young boys are having in their heads? Did those musicians come to their house to knock the door that they should do those hairstyles? So how did they take to making those hairstyles? Because that is what they are hearing and seeing and reading about in the newspapers. So for the sake of Allah, parents should provide opportunity for themselves and their children. Some of us have never bought Islamic book before. If I say, if you have used your money to buy Mus'haf of Quran, raise your hand. You see many of us do not raise your hand. Mus'haf of Quran. If you use your money to say Quran, I want to buy Quran, Mus'haf. If I say raise up our hand, many of us do not raise up our hand. We are always looking for free Mus'haf. I don't know how many years. When I'm traveling, people see me, I've asked you, I've been for Quran, I say yes, I beg. When they give you Quran, really for us. I say, you don't know the market where they are selling this. Some people came to my uncle's house to do Jalali. They want to come and read Quran to him. We have a marriage in the family, so people say, no, I shall do a Quranic. So they already came, they were in his mosque. I said, what do you say? Quranic. The unfortunate is they don't have Quran. And they was Jalabi Quranic. His wife was mad, said, oh, you can come glass. They don't have Mus'haf, Quran. They want to read Quran. You don't understand what that. They came to my uncle's place to make dua. You know the dua? They want to read Quran. So we were still talking, this thing is bid'ah, this thing is say, hey, just leave them. Let them do it. It wasn't up to 5 minutes, just get there. They are looking for Quran. I say, me, I have, this is my cow, but I won't give you. They say, we need. So they started looking for Muslim. People gather to come and read Quran in somebody's house. They don't have Quran. Is that the one you are asking whether he is reading Quran at home? He wants to come and read it to your own house. He doesn't have. He wants to give you $10,000. He doesn't have it. So for the sake of Allah, let us read about Islam. Have a library in your house. Sahih al-Bukhari, we have said that hadith is Sahih al-Bukhari. That hadith, I'm sure sometimes you'll be wondering, how do you put this in your head? Because we are reading it every day. We did not memorize it. Wallahi. We didn't memorize it. Say that hadith is in one of that hadith. We didn't sorry. But when you read it always, you say, okay, I remember where it is. Because that's what you are reading. If it is Macbeth and Shakespeare that you are reading, that is what will be in your mind. Ask a lawyer. Ask a lawyer what a library does to being a lawyer. If you are a lawyer without a library, what kind of lawyer are you? Where is lawyer? I know there may be other lawyers, but I know one lawyer. Where is his house? I beg us in the name of Allah, set up a library in your house. What will be in that library? Mus'haf of Quran. I didn't know Arabic is not there. Tafsir Ibn Kathir is in 10 volumes now. Buy it and put it at home. Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunan al-Abba, Sunan Abi Dawud, Tirmidhi is available. We translated it. It's good and reliable. I participated in that program, converting 6 books of hadith to English. I did the review of Sunan al-Nasai, A to Z, me, 6 volumes. Sunan al-Tirmidhi, I did half. Sahih Muslim, I did 2 volumes inside, checking the translation whether it is correct. And they have been published more than 10 years ago. Go and buy it, put it in your house. Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, put it there. Find your time to be reading it instead of going to be hanging out. Don't hang out. Hang with Allah and His Messenger. Be reading the books. Read it to your children. My own father used to call me to read Quran to me. I was already in the secondary school. He said, come. You know the surah we read? Wallahi, almost every week. Surah to Luqman. وَإِذْ قَالَ لُقْمَانُ لِابْنِهِ وَهُوَ يَعِظُهُ Yeah, he said, can you explain in Sunday? You know that Yoruba Quran, big one, red and black. Ṣé nígbà tí Lukman wá ń sọ fún ọmọ rẹ̀ báyìí kì í ṣe Abdur-Rauf náà sọ fún ọmọ rẹ̀ báyìí. Wallahi ladila. The number of times we did this one kò ní number. It was telling you la tushrik billah. Wallahi. My own father. It has impact on me today. So it will have impact on your son. Someone asked my elder brother, come, all of you talk the same way. Who taught you Tawheed? He said, our father. He will be telling us, La tushrik billah, La tushrik billah, La tushrik billah, La tushrik billah. Always. The next thing he tells us, Salah, 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 Salah. We used to pray Scrabble. You know what Scrabble is? When you are playing Scrabble, you know it. So it takes the mind. Say Salah, Salah, Salah. Salah, Salah. So when we see him, we'll be shouting Salah, Salah. He'll say yes, Salah, Salah. He wants us to stand up from our scribe. All of those things will impact, will lay impact on you. You have a lot of impact on you. If it is father, son, our children don't forget what we do together. Why is it that your own, it is shopping that you know? And Umutu. She did not ask her, Umu doesn't say that one. Abu, just look for when they carry us to Mr. Biggs. Carry us to Mr. Biggs is small now. Carry us to ShopRite. Beach. Carry us to beach. My own father didn't carry me to beach. He used to want me not to swim. I was born in Port Harcourt. My first 25 years was in Port Harcourt. Our house is just a stone throw to a major river. I don't know how to swim till today. We say don't go and swim. Because at that time, they used to kill many Yoruba people. They just put their heads in the river, they die. They say one Yoruba boy don't die. They say don't swim. If your friends say come and swim, tell them you are not swimming. Till today, I still have phobia for swimming. But then it was to protect us. It was to protect us. What I'm saying all this for, what you as a father do with your children, it will have a lot of impact on you. It will have a lot of impact on the children. Let the connection between you and your children be Quran, Salat, Nawafi, Hadith. Pick Riyadh Salihin is in English. The Shah of Sheikh Hussein is in 6 volumes. We translated it to English. Somebody asked me, who is that brother that we translated that book together? He's here. Where is he? Balogun. Riyadh Salihin Sheikh Hussein is 6 volumes. We translated it. It's published. It was published in Riyadh. It's available. Bookshops have it. Buy it. Now, these books that I've mentioned, they are up to 30 volumes. So Buhari 6 volumes. Muslim 6 volumes. How many? Sunan al-Arba 6 times 4. 24 plus 12. You see your house now. Riyadh Salihin 6 volumes. How many is that? Any person who enters your house will not say that you are not serious. Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman, Ali, one volume. Ali is 2 volumes. Usman 2 volumes. If it is IIPH. Usman, Darus Salam, I reviewed it A to Z. I was the one who reviewed the translation of Usman bin Affan, his biography A to Z. I was a Riyadh when I did the job. So pay attention. Read these kinds of books with your children. They will never forget. They will never forget. And you are molding them. Not just carry your children about, start working about money. May Allah protect us. Tell your children, calculate. May Allah protect us. So when you have a library, your children have access to books that will guide them there. So not that the books will be there, you pick Saturday, Sunday, Monday, any day you have time. Be reading it together. Very important. Your wives too. Some brothers marry wives. When they marry the sister, she's very, very, very good sister, mashallah. 10, 15 years after marriage, she becomes spoiled because you did not nurture her faith. You didn't nurture, you didn't help her iman to grow. If iman is not nurtured, it's like a vegetative ground. When the ground that is very, very vegetative, is it vegetative they call it? Fertile. Fertile ground. If you don't use it well, it can spoil. It becomes spoiled. Erosion destroys a fertile ground, as they used to say in agriculture. So little knowledge of how the early Muslims lived is a problem for us. We have very little knowledge of the early Muslims. When Mr. Suleiman was mentioning some of the early companions, early Muslims, my body was shaking. That we should be saying who those people are. Because if they are telling you story, somebody says Dimka, shot dead, Muritala Muhammad. Do you know who is Dimka? You don't know. What happened after? Where did he run to? How did they capture him? You know the truth. So it's not important to us. But when you know about people, Buhari, do you know Buhari? General Muhammadu Buhari, do you know him? You know his wife. You know his children. Which of his children just got married? Yusuf. When you know people, you know who they are. Everybody knows that Buhari was a retired army. So if you say he's fighting some people, he's doing this, they say, because he's an army man. They said he has equipped Nigerian military more than any other president in the history of Nigeria. Do you know that? The Nigerian army is the third most equipped army in Africa now. Do you know that? The Nigerian army is the third most equipped army in Africa now. They are buying weapons every day. When he went to UAE, he went to expect weapons. Do you know the influence of that on him? He was a military man. And he was in charge of weapons. He was in armory. Muhammadu Buhari. I'm saying this, that what we know about people influence our perception of those people. So if you allow your children to know about the companions very well, you know about the early Muslims very well. In fact, they will be taking some of them as their models. You will not know. You will have your son wishing to be like Abu Bakr. You will not know. Until you will ask him when they come, why you behave like, Wallah, I want to be like Abu Bakr. Why? You have been telling him stories about Abu Bakr. When they hear that Shaitan sees Umar and run away, you know children, you say, Daddy, why is it that when Shaitan sees Umar, Shaitan will run away? The mind of the child is very exploratory. He said, because he was very close to Allah. So if I'm close to Allah, if Shaitan sees me, he will run away. You have magnetized that boy's mind to like to be like Umar. You'll be hearing how Umar was important, how people feared Umar so much that even amongst the companions, they used to report themselves to Umar. If you tell somebody, I'll report you to Umar, I beg, don't report it. Children like to have that kind of personality. But how will they know when they don't know? So Bibles expose your children to the life of the early Muslims. It will help them to normalize Bismillah. The seventh and the last thing I'd like to mention is we are in the generation of self-importance and praise. I am important. One major question in our own time is, do you know who I am? Everybody wants to say who you are. That's why the social media is about who you are. That's why people are lying about who they are. A young girl stood behind near my car one day. She wants to take a picture. Hey! Ouch! Okay. Because if she does that, maybe one brother will say, "Take a motor Abunasi." Abunasi. I say, "I can't get it like this on Instagram." I say, "Hey, don't use my car." Why? She wants to say that she is what she is not. She will wear two garments of nullity, of lies. Deception. We are so interested in who we are in these days that we are even ready to tell a lie about who we are. Who are you? So it says my sight, my link, my page, my like that, my. So someone can say, hey, that's my opinion. You say, no, but this is wrong. The hadith says, hey, no, that's everybody's entitled to it. If you don't want that, I block you. So it's about I. It's about I. Self-importance and praise. A young sister was being advised about arrogance and self-importance. She went on to start asking people, is it true that I'm arrogant? Is it true that I'm arrogant? Is it true that I'm arrogant? We don't want to have anything in ourselves. We are so we proud too much in our case. We are too proud. We are proud. We are proud now. So we want to showcase that pride. We want to show people what, if they see you, they will respect you by force. And then how many people have committed suicide because they have an impression of people they think that they can't have. They go to commit suicide. So this, our self-importance is too much. It's too much. You say, sister, please wear jilbab. Say, me, I can't wear jilbab. Ah, you can't wear jilbab. But if you get that, will cover you up with it. That thing, we call it kafan. The kafan is a technical name. Otherwise, linguistically, it can also be referred to as what? Jilbab. Jilbab is something that covers somebody from, cover the whole thing. The kafan. That's your importance. When my grandmother passed away, I followed my mother and my aunt to wash the cups. I was telling them what to do. They were washing the cups. Where we washed it, they brought one woman. She just made jerrycans. It was fresh jerrycan. She just died. So they covered her up to the neck. They dropped her near our old cups that we were washing. It's a sin now. All the jerrycans are gone. The jerrycan is, the jerry bank. The jerrycan was fresh. But now, do you know the hairs were even on the ground? The stretcher with which they brought her, I think she came to remove pregnancy. So in the process of removing that pregnancy, she died. How many women have died like this? How many? So let us reduce this our self-importance. Devote yourself to Allah. Submit yourself to Allah. You are a slave of Allah and His servant. Worship Him, adore Him, ask for His help, ask for His forgiveness, ask for His protection. Be asked to be His friend. People are crazy today. On social media, they have 1 million friends. Someone has 1 million human beings as friend and is the enemy of Allah. Like the one contributing money. Many people would like to be like him. Or Allah. That's what Allah warned us about. La yaghurrannaka taqallubul ladhina kafaru fil bilad. Don't allow this enjoyment you are seeing, this gathering of money. I just told my friends, oh yeah, give me 1 million, and then they contributed 200 million. Don't let that deceive you on the earth. Mata'u qalil. Summa ma'awahum jahannam wa bi'sal masir. La yaghurrannaka. Don't be deceived by that. Don't be deceived by that. Don't let that deceive you. Mata'u qalil. Their time is just little. People who can't keep wives. People who can't stay in orientation camps. People who struggle to obtain a top class in the university. People who have tattoos all over their body. People who are given to drugs. People who are given to adultery and fornication. Are these the people you are envying? People who are models of evil less than anything good. People who can't even speak English well. I listened to one of his interviews. So let me see this boy's intelligence. Because when they interview anybody, if you want to know whether the person is intelligent, listening to the interview. I was listening. The English was bad. The girl interview. He will think that the woman was happy that he is talking to her. In my think, I say, Okoro, she's laughing at your grammar. You know, Americans hate bad grammar. You know that? The English was bad. If I was marking white, if you beg me, I won't give her F. I won't give him F. You beg me, F. He's counsel. No results. So don't be deceived by those people. Don't let those people take you out. You want to, don't be like them. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. So women will take care of you. Abu, you are just there. Look at social person. These are not the people to compare people with in the society. If not that society is bad, should these people be shown to people as models? We have people who are spreading good now. One of our brothers made it. He builds a whole section in a hospital in Medicine. They are doing a lot. They educate, they build schools. In the community, they give people millions. How many times has Matrix give people millions to 100 million? 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. How many newspapers carry it? People are doing sadaqat amongst Muslims. They are paying zakawat. They are helping people. They have scholarships. When you want this one thing, they say people begin to shout. What has he done? How much has he spent? I always say, a young man wears a wristwatch of 30 million. When he's 30 years old. When he becomes 60, how much wristwatch will he wear? You see the problem. At that 60, will he have the energy to work, to do music as he's doing music now, to be able to earn money to buy a wristwatch of 60 million? For how long? That's why Allah says, Mata'un Qalil. It's a little time. So don't be deceived by it. May Allah protect each and every one of us. The first point we mentioned is that we should give up our knowledge about Allah. The second point is that we should give less prominence to the issues of this dunya. The third point is that we should make a lot of contemplation of the Quran. The fourth point is that we should increase the means of being more conscious in our salah, the khushu' in salah. The fifth point is that we should avoid sins. There is nothing that destroys the heart like sins. May Allah forgive all of us. The sixth point is that we should search for more knowledge about the pious people, beginning from the Prophet Muhammad. And the seventh point is that, my dear brother, reduce your self-importance and arrogance. You are nothing but sand. The Prophet said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Kullukum min Adam, wa Adamu min Turab. All of you are from Adam. Where is Adam from? From sand. So where are you from? Where are you going back? From where will you be raised up? So why are you making your account? May Allah protect each and every one. Sorry that I took your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have questions. Women should devote time to their primary responsibilities and ibadah. They should be using it home than outside the home. We emphasize this a lot. Like, we have many stubborn children, we have many dropouts, drug addicts, Yahoo boys, because the home is breaking down. The home is breaking down. What do they call, if they ask you, Afa Ilenko, who are they asking of? Wife. So when the wife is not in the house, if they ask you Ilenko, what should you say? It's Ilenko, Ilenko. What do daddy law? Yahoo tell not to follow. When they say Ilenko, what should you say? When they say Ilenko, daddy. No hope. No hope. No hope. If they want to ask about children, they will ask for Monko, how are the children separate. But when they say, how is your home? Even in English language, if they say, how is your home? Who are they referring to? Our wives. So if the woman is not at home, they ask us, how is home? Now, home there. Where will you say home day? Women, I beg you in Allah's name. We are giving you work now. All these nawafil, be doing it at home. If you are wondering, what will I be doing at home? Nawafil. Wallahi, if you face nawafil every day at home, you have a lot of job, and I bet you can't finish it. All these nawafil, you can't finish it. You can't. You make 11 rakats of Qiyamul Layl. You make 2 rakats of Rakat al-Fajr. You make 2 rakats of Adhan, Salat Baina Adhanain. You make 2 rakats of Yahuma, no Tahiyatul Masjid. After Salatul Fajr, you sit down there. You make 8 rakats of Salatul Duha. You make 4 rakats of Salatul Tasbih. You make 4 rakats before Zuhur. You make 4 rakats after Zuhur. You make 4 rakats before Asr. You make 2 rakats immediately after Asr. You make 2 rakats before Maghrib. You make 2 rakats after Maghrib. You make 2 rakats after Isha. You make 2 rakats before sleep. How many rakats are those? Wallahi. Because they are the ones that will be easy for. They are in the house. The man is in the whole door, looking about, running out. If not that there is weekend, can we have these kinds of men sitting here like this for hours? Huh? But the eyes are cool, calm now. If you see some of these faces on work here, one salam alaikum, you will struggle to say wa alaikum salam. It's going. But women, they are at home. So that's why the women are the home. Now, those who want to destroy the society, they say women come out of the home. Come out. Once you take the woman out of the home, you destroy the society. Just think about the sociology of the women living home. I have an article by a British woman about this. About the sociology of a woman being outside home. The home without a woman. The home without a woman. Is that a home? May Allah protect us.
Please, we just take, because of time, we just take one more question, then we will now listen to the closing remark. Now, the question has to do with, can you have two intentions, for an act? Like, you want to perform Rakat al-Fajr and Tahiyyat al-Masjid. Can 2 rakats suffice for both? Then also you want to perform Ghusl Janaba and also Ghusl for Salat Islam. Can one Ghusl make for the two?
This is a big issue among them. Very big issue among them. But what I feel convenient with among those opinions is the opinion that say every action has its own intention. Al-amalu bin-niyyat. The deeds have their intentions. Wa innama likulli imri'in ma nawa. But the first part of it, every action has its own intention. If you come into the masjid, you want to make tahiyyat to the masjid. You can't intend to make tahiyyat to the masjid. And you also intend to make Rakat al-Fajr. You can either make tahiyyat to the masjid or Rakat al-Fajr. Why? Each of them has its own intention. If you intend tahiyyat to the masjid, it's a separate intention. If you intend Rakat al-Fajr, it's a separate intention. However, one of them can stand in the place of another. Rakat al-Fajr can stand in place of Tahiyyatul Masjid. Because what he said alayhi salatu wa salam is that إِذَا دَخَلَ أَحْدُكُمُ الْمَسْجِدِ فَلَا يَجْلِسْ حَتَّى يُصَلِّيَ رَكَعَتَيْنِ. When you come into the masjid, don't sit down until you make 2 units of prayer. And you have made 2 units of prayer. And that 2 units of prayer you made was what? Rakat al-Fajr. So you see, Rakat al-Fajr can stand in place of Tahiyyatul Masjid. But there are some times that these worship cannot stand in their places. One of them is the issue of the ghusl. Yes, it is one ghusl. So if you intend ghusl Juma, how about ghusl Janaba? Like I said, every of them, each of them with their own intentions. And that was why one of the companions, Abu Qatada al-Ansari, this Asar occurs in Sahih al-Bukhari mu'allaqan. His son was making ghusl on the Juma. So when the boy finished and came out, he asked him, "What did you make?" He said, "I made ghusl for Janaba." He said, "Go back and make ghusl for Juma." So if the ghusl of Janaba will suffice for Juma, the companion will not say that, but go back and make it second one. Since the same ghusl, the same approach, the same bath, you see what is different between the two of them is what? Intention. So that's why I am more inclined to the view that every action has its own intention. Look at Salatul Fajr and Rakat al-Fajr. What is different between the two of them? Intention. It is the same two rakats. Two rakats of Fajr, two rakats of Rakat al-Fajr. The two of them you can read aloud. You can read aloud in Rakat al-Fajr, you can choose to read aloud. So it will have almost the same look like Salatul Fajr. So what makes them different? What separates between an obligatory deed that you are performing and a supererogatory deed that you are performing? What is separate? What makes them separate? Intention. So I'm more inclined to the view that every action has its own intention. So, however, there are some actions that can stand for others. As we gave the example between Rakat al-Fajr and Tahiyyatul Masjid. I hope that it is clear, inshallah.
So inshallah, we will now listen to the closing remark by our editor-in-chief, Malam Sulaiman.
والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الحمد لله بنعمته تتم الصالحات. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us the opportunity to own this ABC. This is ABC number 70. This is the 70th time we are holding this class. And it's been a long journey. And we thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has given us the opportunity to begin these classes and has given us the opportunity to sustain it up to this moment. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let it be given to us. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving the grace that we are here and you are here as well. If Allah had wished you, you would be somewhere else other than here. And you'll probably not also be somewhere that you like. We thank Allah. There are people who at the moment, they are in places that it is not their choice. It is not where they want to be, but it is where they find themselves. So we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To be here is a choice. And it's a choice that Allah made it easy for us to take today. We thank Allah for that. So we also want to thank everybody for being here as well. Because if a woman was here and if nobody that is sitting down here to listen to you, will he be here? He will not. So the fact that you also find the time to come to God and listen to me, it is also a form of honor. The Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honor every one of you as well. We also want to thank people who have been a part, aside from coming to listen to the lecture, behind the scene. There are people who have lent a helping hand to make the KBC successful. Some people, they know that holding the KBC takes a lot of investment. Between the time that we had the KBC the last December and this KBC, the cost of the inputs in the KBC has skyrocketed. If I take just one index alone, one index of the change in the inputs into holding KBC, the hall in which we are sitting down here has been increased 3 times, multiplied times 3. So, but the point is that we still find this to be very convenient because it is accessible to many people. So this is the reason why. And the people who are our hosts here, we understood them because it is not easy as well. Their own costs have also increased. So naturally, they will pass it on. So when they pass the cost on, we'll come back and sit down, what do we do? Do we also pass the cost on? It's difficult. Such decision is very difficult to take. So nevertheless, we still try as much as possible to do whatever we can. There's some people who come and say, okay, I know it's getting more tougher and tougher to hold this cost with a minimal resources. There are people who have come to assist financially. So may Allah reward them. And there are others who have also helped in other regards as well. For instance, it's one single brother. All the food that is distributed around here is one single brother who is single-handedly taking responsibility for it. All the food that has been, the brother called me and said, how many people are we expecting for the babies? And it is something that he has been very consistent. He has been doing it all the while. So when we were preparing for the babies, he called me, how many people are we expecting? I told him to prepare for like 500 people. He said, okay, we will do this. May Allah reward him. May Allah reward him. And everybody who has also played a part in one way or the other to make it successful, may Allah reward everyone. Also, there are a couple of things that we desire from you as part of your own investment, your own assistance to make all our programs successful. Yesterday, as I was coming here, I received a call. A doctor called me all the way from Sokoto. He's a doctor in Uthman University. He said, am I talking to the rector of Al-Nasiha? I said, yes. And the next thing he said, please, don't let this magazine die. He said, please, don't let the magazine die. What am I going to do to sustain its institution? You know, I'm sitting there in Lagos here. We are producing 3 children. I don't know that somebody there in Sokoto is taking some benefits from it. And he doesn't want it to die. Just yesterday. Sometimes it was some years back as well. I was sitting there in my house, and a lady called me from Abuja. And she asked the same question. Am I talking to the editor of the Nasiha? I said, yes. She said, you both, you helped me to sustain my marriage. Is that not fair? And she not about as well. Who she is, I don't know. But she called me and she said, what she did was to read the magazine. And she felt that whatever she read there probably gave her a solution. I don't know what she read. I don't know what she read through. I don't know how the kind of impact it had on her, but that was her statement. Now this is the kind of reaction that you get that gives you the encouragement to want to continue, to want to do more, because you don't know who somewhere is taking some benefit from it. And without any doubt, Wallahi, it is getting more difficult and more difficult, especially with the increase in all the inputs into production. It is, for instance, it is not the practice of ABC that you go to ABC and will not give you the real material. It is not the practice. We do not produce one, we did. We produce a handbook of ABC on the market. But after producing it, we couldn't afford to print it. We couldn't afford to print because the cost of printing is scale. The cost of paper itself today, because those who you give the things to produce, they pass the increment to you. And you don't have so much choice. So we decided, okay, what do we do? So, okay, no problem. At least we are producing, let's give the participants digital copy. At least we will not spend money to print. So some of those who are registered online must have received digital copies. Yes, I can see some people acknowledging they have received digital copy of the KBC material. If you register here, you may have to exercise some patience because they have to be able to key in your own email address or numbers to be able to send it to you. So if you have not received, this is the reason why you have not received it. If you register online and you have not received, it is possible that you have not checked your mail or your WhatsApp. Maybe you have not checked because for all those who registered online, we'll send them out. So if you register online and you have not received your digital copy, please let us know. Maybe there's a problem along the line that we need to solve. But this is the point. Now with regard to our journals as well, we produce a Nasiha. We also produce a legacy. And we've been doing that close to 25 years now. We've been doing that close to 25 years. Our late editor-in-chief, Brother Roberto is the nurse. I remember that there was a particular article. I went to somebody's house. When I got to the person's house, I saw an old copy of the Digest. An old copy of the Digest. I just took it out. I mean, curiously, let me see what you have written in the past. So I started reading it. I saw one of the articles that he wrote. And he said, in there he said, my 3-year-old daughter. There he said, my 3-year-old daughter was referring to his first child, daughter. That first child, her name used to be Iman. Now her name is Malam. She's here with children. She's here with children. That 3-year-old daughter. She's a mother now. She's already a big woman. So this is how, and this is why it is important to invest your life in something good. We are not making it easy for us. So I was talking about our journals. The reason why we are not able to produce the KBC material in the physical copy is already we feel the same page with the Nasiha and Legacy. So we are being forced to actually go digital. So we have started producing Nasiha digitally. So what does it concern you? How is that your business? Like I mentioned, this doctor, all the way from Sokoto, all the yesterday, and begged me, please don't let this die. Does it depend on me? No. First and foremost, Allah's grace, and also the participation of every one of us. If I do the headcount of the people who are here, me to respect above 500. If each and every one of us who is here is a subscriber to the digital copy of the Islam, inshallah, will stay online. If every single person who is here, how much are we talking about? How much are we talking about? And Nasiha is still 700 naira, and Legacy is 300 naira. Everything comes to 1,000 naira. We're not saying every day, we're not saying every week, we're just saying once in a month. Even if you settle your mind and say, okay, this one I am not giving charity, I am doing it to sustain this good work. And then it's the only reason why we are doing it. It's sufficient. But even beyond that, we want you to also take some benefit from it. And also give others the opportunity to take some benefit from it. So our request is for every one of you who is here. And I am not excusing anyone, and I am not excluding anyone, that you please subscribe to the digital copy of Al-Nasina, even if it's just a simple copy. We have people for years, they have taken up the responsibility. We have people who said, I need only one copy for me and my family, but I'm buying 10. I will subscribe for 10. Deliver one to me and distribute the other 9 to people who do not have the means to buy it. Distribute on my behalf. And then we doing that consistently, even up to today as we speak. May Allah reward them. May Allah reward them. So I want to invite all of you as well to this good work. And I beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward you as a user. There is a tendency that when we are in a place like this, when we are face to face, probably our demand is high. But the moment we go and the thing we need to wear out gradually and gradually, we forget about it. But I don't want this to happen. So I want you to take a decision. As you are here now, you can contact the registration desk and you will get your contacts, your email, and all of that. That will be necessary for you, and they will guide you to how to subscribe for Al-Nasiyah and Legacy. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it from you and grant you the reward in this dunya and the hereafter. May Allah make it heavy on the scale of the righteous man. And finally, from the things that we want to pass across to you is that we want to remind you of our regular programs. Every week on Monday, we have halqa that goes on here in the mosque. Every Monday from 5 p.m. to Maghrib. People have been attending it. Every Monday we have halqa going because the mosque is not collecting a dime from us. So, as spending alcohol is free, unlike the fact that we have to pay for the bottle of payments. We also hold alcohol at Yaba, also every week on Thursday. So every Thursdays, from 5 p.m. to Maghrib as well, alcohol is going. So if your residence is close to any of these places, because the way human heart is, there was a time when one of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, his name is Hanzala. Hanzala, he was coming out and he was shouting, Hanzala has not become a munafiq. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu made him from the words, how can you say such a thing? How can you Hanzala become a munafiq? What do you mean? Why are you saying this? And he said, whenever we are with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and we listen to him, our iman is high. Our iman is high. But whenever we leave him and we mix with our family we forget the prophets. And I think that maybe this is from the fact. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he also said, I also feel the same thing that they are feeling. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, both Hanzala and Abu Bakr, they went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and mentioned this to him. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if your iman were to be at the same level that but the point is that we cannot always be constant. The moment we hit the streets, there are things that are going to work to break down our iman. So we constantly need something to continue to rejuvenate our iman. So the more you listen to morality, the more you listen to admonition, the more that you will protect your heart from all the tips of heart that are outside there. So this is why we have these weekly parts. So if you are close to any of those locations, join us for those parts. Here allows us to come. And the School of Occupational Therapy, the mosque that is inside that school, the School of Occupation, the Hakat Makoni, the Hakat Makoni, we go there each other. The Hakat goes at every time. So, inshallah, the next KBC will go to in very big size. I can't go on what it is going to be now. But we beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preserve our life and let us do this ceremony. May this connect the last things we are going to attend. May we have the opportunity to witness the ceremony. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to preserve our iman, those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have used to bless us with whatever reminders and whatever admonition got to since the last 3 days or the last 2 days, including today. May Allah reward them on our behalf. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take care of their affairs. As they have also left their own matters in order to take care of our own affairs, may Allah take care of their own matters as well. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them upon on our behalf. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala righteous. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of joys and تقبل إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم ووفقنا الحق وإلى طريق المستقيم. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارزقنا اجتنابه. ربنا آتنا حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. صلى الله على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Please, if you are a rewire, we need the service of the person immediately.